Okay, welcome to the Basine method. Um, I have always had really great feedback from this, so I'm hopeful that you'll all get real value and gold from what I'm going to go through with you today. So, yeah, so let's get cracking. Um, so the plan is, why should you PR you? What could it achieve? What is PR? So many people get PR mixed up with advertising, and marketing, and this all helps cement it in your mindset as of exactly what PR is. And then I've got my Basine method that I'll take you through, which will teach you how to do it for yourself, um, in a way that hopefully isn't overwhelming to you at all and will seem really easy and kind of straightforward. I'll give you a little overview about who I am. So why am I qualified to tell you all of this stuff? Um, and then I'll give you 6 easy things you can take away and implement today. It was going to be 5 easy things, but then I had 6, so I'll give you 6. I'm an over giver, so there we go. But then you can ask me any questions as well. So why PR you and your business? So many business owners that I work with are experts at what they do. Quite often, they've been doing it for far longer than their competitors have. They've got loads of happy clients, do loads of results, and are absolutely amazing. But quite often, what they lack is that they're not visible enough. They're not talking about what they do enough. They're not sharing what they do with other people. So there's no point being the best at something if no one knows who on earth you are and why they should work with you. And this is what can help people to do. So what can it achieve? So if you're employed, it can help you get that promotion or pay rise. You can get newer, bigger clients or projects. You might get invited to be an expert on a panel or a stage. You get more recognition. Maybe you'll get some awards. You might be quoted in the media as an expert at what you do. You might even end up with honorary degrees, give gifted MBEs or OBEs as well. So all of these things come from being more visible so that more people know about you and what you do and why you're the best at what you do. So what is PR? Now, so many people that I meet go, yeah, but Sarah, but what is PR? I don't really know what it is. So I have a little analogy that I always tell that really help people to understand what PR is. So, if you will, imagine that 2 people are out on a first date. Okay. Now we'll call him Jack and we'll call her Jane. Okay. So imagine they were on a first date, and if on the first date Jack rocks up and goes, "Hey, hi Jane, I'm Jack. Nice to meet you. Did you see that sports car pulled up in there? That's mine. I bought it cash. Did you see that big house you drove past on the way here? The one on the corner with the tree-lined driveway and the big golden gates? That's my house. And I'm really successful. I've got this job. I run this business on the side. I hire yachts every year in the summer. I go to all of the events, all the festivals, all the happenings, including VIP at Glastonbury. You know, I do everything, and you'll have such a wonderful life dating me. Okay. Now if he was to that is him doing advertising. He is listing all the things he thinks make him sound attractive to Jane. Okay, so he's just that doing advertising. Now, if he was to turn up and say to Jane, "Oh, you must be Jane. Oh, your photograph does not do you justice. You look even more beautiful in real life than you do on your photograph. and I can see from your smile that you're a warm and caring person. I love that hairstyle on you. It really flatters your face shape. I love that colour you're wearing. It really brings out the blue of your eyes. I can see we're going to have a wonderful evening together. Okay, if he turns up and says that to her, he's doing marketing. He is telling her, sorry, what he thinks she wants to hear, using the language he thinks she wants him to say. Okay, so that is marketing. That's all marketing is. You're using the language that you think they want to hear you say and saying the right things. Okay, now if on that date she nips to the bathroom and in there she bumps into another girl who goes, "Oh my God, I see you here on a date with Jack. Oh, he's the nicest guy. I went to school with him. I know all of his friends. I know his family. He was top set for all his lessons at school. He's so clever. He was captain of the sports team. Um, he was voted class president. He's just the nicest guy as well. He was always doing charity bike rides and things, and he's just so lovely. You're so lucky to be on a date with him. Okay. If that happens, that is PR. That's just someone else endorsing you, and it's far more valuable than you advertising yourself or marketing. Okay, so that's all PR is. There's a proper like definition here, but I like my story better. Um, that's all PR is. It's someone else endorsing you. So the actual definition is public relations. And some people think that it's press relations, but it's not just press relations, it's public relations. And I like to think of PR as personal relationships. So you're managing those relationships that surround you and your business. Whether those relationships are with your suppliers, your employees, your clients, your stakeholders, so people that surround your business but aren't clients, like maybe you've the person who has the office next to yours. Maybe it's your next door neighbour. Maybe it's the newsagent at the end of the road you go and get your paper from every day. All of these people surround you in your business. It also includes the media, of course. It includes anyone who follows you on you on social media. All of these different people relationships you need to manage that will help your business because some of them will be potential clients, some of them may know people who need your services, so they might be recommending and referring you. These all fall under the bracket of PR. Okay, does that make sense for everyone? Good. So my Basim method. So the first letter B of the Basim method is we begin. So we begin with the vision of what we want to achieve in the future. Now, that vision might be in 6 months' time, a year's time, 5 years' time, 10 years' time, however you perceive and look forward to that vision. Okay. It's really important that you think about what you want in the future and can you visualize you in that future. So it could be an income goal, it needs to be an income goal, but also how do you feel in the future you? In this future world, what does your average day look like? What time are you getting up? What are you doing? What does that typical day look like? Who is that client or person that you are working with in that future you? It could be that in 5 years' time, future you is retired and you've flogged your business for a load of money and now you're lying on a beach somewhere. But then we have to backtrack a little bit to getting your business ready to sell. But it's really good for you to think about what you want and what that future looks like. How does it feel and who are you working with in that future vision? Because with PR, um, it's very much like a lighthouse or a homing beacon or something like that. You're putting it out there to guide in this future vision. So you get bringing in the future. So if you do all your PR work around the clients you're working with today, even though they're not who you see yourself working for in your future, then you're just going to stay stuck in your today with do more of the same clients. So your PR needs to be ushering in that future that you want. So it's really key to think about who that client is in your future so that you can make sure that we're doing the right PR work to bring them in, to attract them in. Yeah. So that's what we're looking at doing. So think about, what do you want in that future you? Um, Now you'll work with a lot of, you might have worked with sales coaches and sales trainers always say, look, you need to know what that future income goal is, because you can't get there otherwise, because you need to know what that income goal is. So you'll get say to salespeople quite often like the analogy of, because otherwise it's like getting in your car and putting anywhere in your sat nav, and your sat nav doesn't know where to take you. Okay, that's a favorite sales analogy. But my analogy is a step before that, before you get in your car and your sat nav, when you're still on your Google your Google Maps, and you're thinking, right, this is the vision I want, this is the future I want, this is where I want to get to. But now, how do I want to get there? So Google Maps will ask you, do you want to walk? Do you want to drive? Do you want to get the train? Do you want to fly? Do you want the scenic routes? Do you want the quickest route? Do you want this most sustainable routes? Do you want to stop off along the way? All of these questions Google Maps will ask you before it gives you your route. And this is the way that I work with clients, because yes, okay, great, that you've got your future vision. We need to figure out how to get you to that vision and what you need to put in place. And it's really important that we also look at who you are. What are your brand values as an individual as well as a company? And what reputation do you want for you as an individual and for your company as a company? Okay. So, because it's really important that all of this aligns with who you are inside. So I've worked with clients who've said, Sarah, I just want to get there as fast as I can. I don't mind doing 16-hour days. Just get me there the fastest way possible. I don't mind. Put me on stages, get me on TV. I don't care. Just get me there. Right? Brilliant. Okay. But then I also work with clients who say, do you know what? In my future vision, I'm stood on big stages, talking to big audiences. But Sarah, if I'm honest, at this moment in time, it terrifies the bejesus out of me. I can't imagine doing that at this moment, but I know I want to get there in 5 years. And I go, great, we can do it small. We can start getting you speaking in front of smaller groups of people, and we can do a gently approach. So they want the scenic route. Um, it might be that it's someone who only does what they do part time because they're juggling life, kids, maybe caring for older family members, and they have to take priority at the moment, so they're trying to fit it in around other things, and that's fine too. So they don't want to go all guns blazing on the motorway doing 70 miles an hour to get to where they want to go with no brakes. They again need to stop off along the way and do it bit by bit. So it's very important that you tailor this to who you are. um so that's, you begin with the vision. So have a look about this future you. Are the things you still need to achieve in order to get to that person in your future? Are the qualifications you need to get there? Is there additional training you need to do? So if you're like the client that I worked with who wanted to stand on stage and speak in front of big audiences, well, she realised that she needed to work with a public speaking coach. And I directed her in to a few of those that you could pick from. So think about the different things you need to pop in place along the way. And it's really important that this aligns with the marketing strategy for your business as well. So because the more it all aligns, the better, because then it flows more easily. So evaluate now. So think about this ideal client that you're working with in your future. Who are the right people and spaces that they hang out with? Who can influence them? Who are they friends with? Are they members of any particular networking organisations? Are they members of the local golf club or tennis club? Where will you find them? Where do they hang out? Think about all of these things. If this ideal client you're working with is a corporate or a big company, then who are the decision makers within that big company that you need to then be able to get in front of and influence? Who within their industry would potentially be able to have an opinion and refer you to your ideal client? Who can you influence? What media will these people read? Do they listen to podcasts? Are they commuting every day into the office? So are they sat on a train or a tram or a bus, and might they be picking up a Metro newspaper and reading that? Or are they listening to podcasts all the time? Do they go to the gym? If they're at the gym, what are they listening to? What are they reading? Think about all of these things. What events will they attend? If it's a big corporate, what events does that corporate sponsor? What do they partner on? There might be awards that they sponsor. Um, they might be the individual that you're trying to reach might be a judge for a particular awards. Have a look at their profiles on social media. If you're not sure what events they go to or what organisations they're members of, have a little look on their social media. Who are they friends with? Who tags them in posts? Have a look what they are going to, because quite a number of people will post about events on their social media, so you can have a look what's going on. Even if you're not 100% sure, it's quite a lot of networking organisations let you go along for one or two events while you see if it's the right thing for you. So you can go along and see, is my future ideal client or someone that knows them or could influence them at this event? And if so, is it worthwhile me going to that? And have a little look about the right people and spaces you can be, and have a bit of a plan. So what rooms you need to be in to bump into them. If a particular influencer is on an expert panel for an industry event or something like that that's coming up, there's no easier way for them to see you as an equal expert to themselves than if you're also sat on that expert panel alongside them. So even if there's a fee involved to be part of that expert panel, if the expert panel has that person you're trying to influence on it, then that would be money well spent, because they will immediately see that you are as equal expert as they are themselves. Psychologically, that's how brand alignment works. So have a think. There might be stages that you could speak on that people will be in the audience and listen to you, that then could recommend you to your ideal client. Don't shy away from asking for advice. So if there is a particular person of influence within the industry who's very well thought of and everything, you could ask them, just say, look, do you mind if we go for coffee? I'd really love to pick your brains on something. Would really appreciate your advice. And the odds are quite often they'll say yes, because if they've got to being so well respected to the top of their industry or career, quite often they've done that because they're nice and they want to help people and support people. So reach out and ask them, invite them for a coffee. Um, think about the awards, industry or company awards. So if that ideal client is a judge for an awards or is sponsoring an award, the easiest way for them to know who the hell you are is to enter the awards. And then all of a sudden they'll see your entry, your name. If you win an award, they might be presenting you with the award. Even if you're just a runner up, you could potentially get your name in front of them. Then you could also maybe attend the event and just network, because the odds are if they're sponsoring the event or a judge at the event, there'll be lots of other people who are connected to them, who can influence them in that room. So go along and network and make people aware of who you are and what you do. Also, charities are another good way, because quite often, if it's a person of influence, they'll be they'll have a local charity they support. It might be corporate that has an official charity or whatever. And if that aligns with who you are and your own values, then why not go and volunteer as well? But I'm not saying go and sign up to the Cats Protection League because the person you want to influence is a big cat lover, but you're actually allergic to cats. Well, that's not going to align very well. So it's really important that it's authentically you and it aligns with who you are as an individual. Look at it, might be stages you need to speak on. There might be different news angles, so you might have a really strong personal story you could share. Um, and look at social media as well. Look at those people who are where you want to be. And when I say influencers, I don't mean you people on Instagram who are like posting that they've gone on holiday somewhere and they've got it for free. When I talk about influencers, I'm talking about people who can recommend and make word of mouth referrals for you to your ideal client. So the people who can influence your ideal client, but they might also be on social media, so you can see who they're connected to, the conversations they're having, the events they're going to, the things they care about, all of this, and then you can see how you can fit into that world and if it's right for you as well. Um, so then so that's the B bit done. And it's really important that you evaluate who you are as well. So what are your strengths, your weaknesses? Um, because if you hate being in a room with loads of strangers. I was chatting to someone the other day who seems dead confident and she's outgoing and everything. You can put her on a stage in front of loads of people and she'd be fine. But put her in a networking situation with loads of other people, she said, and she just shies away and goes on a phone or whatever because she hates it. She hates having to go and do small talk with people and stuff like that. She really hates it. So it's really important to think about what you actually like doing as an individual. What are your personal strengths and play to them. So whereas the person I was chatting to, I said, really? I said, that surprises me. She went, no, I'm not like you. Whereas you could drop me into a room with loads of people I've never met before, and I'd go around and start chatting to them because I can chat the hind legs off a donkey. So that's fine for me. I love that. I love meeting new people and chatting to people and blah 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 and all of that, and I can speak on stage. That's me. But other people might not be like that. Other people might go, do you know what, Sarah, I'm fine networking if it's a small group, maybe 10 people, any more than that, and I'm out of my comfort zone, I can't deal with it. But put me in an online networking environment, I'm fine. So then you do more online networking environments things. Maybe you do online stuff more than you do in-person stuff. So think about what you like doing and do more of that. So if you love being on people's podcasts, being interviewed, if you love going live on social media, but you hate being in person on stage at events, then go live on social media more. There's no set thing that you have to do to get to your end destination. And this is the biggest thing. Loads of people teach about visibility and PR and marketing. They go, oh yeah, you need to do these things, follow this cookie cutter model and you'll get to where you want to be. And loads of people, hundreds of people will follow that cookie cutter model and loads of them will get amazing success. And some will get a little bit of success, others not much. And it's because you're different. You're different people, you're different personalities, you've got different strengths, and it's tapping into your personal strengths that will see you fly with this, okay? So that's why the B bit of my Be Seen method is so important that you get the right grounding first. So then we move on to story, which is the S in my scene method. Now, I usually work with one of two people. They're either person one who's got the most amazing, huge story in their lives. So, like for me, my big, amazing story is that I'm a mum of loss. So I lost my two eldest children. So I'm a mum of three, but only my youngest is still alive. And that's my massive story. So quite a lot of people go, "Oh, I've just got this one big story, and that's it." But it's not it. There'll be other stories there. So I've got loads of other stories I can tell that aren't as big or as, earth-shattering as that, but they're still really good stories. So I was bullied at school. That's a story. There's good things happened to me. So I bought a house abroad when I was 30 because just decided I was going to do that, as you do. So there's loads of different stories that we've all got inside of us that make us quite interesting. And then the second type of person that I usually work with is that they go, I've got no stories. I'm dead boring, I am. There's nothing interesting about me. No stories at all. And then I've got a story mapping exercise that I do with clients that pulls the stories out of them. And literally within 5 minutes, with someone who says they're not interesting, I can pull a story out of them. And most people will have at least half a dozen interesting stories that would be newsworthy for media. But the only reason you don't think they're interesting is because you've lived with those stories. Do you know what I mean? So to you, they're boring, but to media, they're like golden. And to other people, they're golden because they help them connect with you and resonate with who you are as an individual. Um, so don't be afraid if you think, oh my God, I've got no stories in me. You have. You have. You just need to find them. And I've got a method to do exactly that. And then it's once you've identified all the stories, it's choosing the one that will align and resonate with that future ideal client that we've earmarked at the start, and the people who can influence them and the media. So it might be a story that would connect really easily with what's happening in the world today, for instance. Um, so it might be a story about grief. So I don't know if you saw the news, but Ricky Hatton's died. So you might have a story that's connected to that in some way. It might be sadly there was a story about a PR lady in Manchester that got killed by a falling branch off a tree in Didsbury, which was really sad. And so there might be something that's weather related story. There might be a seasonal one to do with Christmas or something. So have a think, is your story currently newsworthy? Could it tie in to a particular season or time of the year or weather event? And how can we tell it in a concise way as well? Because the media haven't got time for big, long, waffly stories, and they also haven't got time for if you put in the subject field of your email to a media, great story idea, amazing. They're not going to open it. So you need to be able to kind of summarize your story in one line and put it in the subject field of your email to the journalist so that they open it. So think clickbaity kind of headline, then they're more likely to open it. Um, and people at the end of the day remember stories more than slogans. They remember how you made them feel. So if it's a story that would really resonate with your ideal client, then brilliant. And the next thing that people miss, so I have loads of people that I work with, they go, oh, I tried PR, it didn't work for me. And I go, what do you mean it didn't work for you? Oh, I got national media coverage and I didn't get anything from it. It didn't work for me. And one of the reasons it didn't work for them is that they're not clear on what that expectation is. So what do you want to happen when that person has read your story, listened to your story, watched your story? What is the next steps? What do you want them to do? And if you don't tell them what you want them to do, they ain't going to do it. Okay. So you need to say, follow me on social media or go onto my website and download my free workshop or come along to my event. It's on this date and this venue. Buy tickets here or book a table here. If you don't tell them what you want them to do, they're not going to do it, and you're not going to reap the rewards of your hard work getting that coverage. because everyone are bombarded every day by loads of media in lots of different directions. So if you don't tell them what you want them to do, they'll read your story and they'll go, oh, that's nice. And then they'll close the magazine or newspaper and move on with the day and kind of forget about it. So make sure you tell them what you want them to do. Okay. And then you need to execute it. You need to actually take the action, um, and do the thing and contact that editor, post that, to make that video for social media, make that post, do the stuff, because unless you start doing it, nothing's going to happen. And the the worst thing you can do is procrastinate and think, oh, do you know what? I'm not sure it's right. I might wait until it's perfect and then I'll go out to media. Just do it now. If it's wrong, it doesn't matter. You can redo it, you can revisit it, you can go back again and again and again. And that then leads me on to the N in the Racine method, which is never give up. I've been described as being like a pit bull. So if there's a good story, I ain't letting it drop. So but it's constantly reevaluating that story. Does it need rewording? Does it need tweaking? Does it need repitching? Can it be aligned to something else that's happening in the world? Um, does it need to be phrased a different way? Do we need to do something differently? I've got secrets to following up as well with media, so it doesn't feel to them like you're nagging them, even though you are. So I've got lots of tricks of the trade, how to nag without anyone getting annoyed. Um, so yeah, so just never give up as well. So that's my Basim method. So to recap, because I know it's a lot of information, begin with that vision. What do you want? Where do you want to go? Um, Evaluate the right spaces and places that you need to be. Who are the people you need to influence? Evaluate yourself as well. What do you enjoy doing? What would you rather stick pins in your eyes than do? Um, so you're not thinking, oh God, Sarah said I've got to go live on social media, and much rather stick pins in my eyes. The key is to wake up in the morning and be actually excited about what you're going to do visibility wise for you and your business. Because if you can be excited about it, you'll get more out of it. People will feel that energy and that excitement, and you'll just get to that end, that future vision far faster than you ever thought possible. Think of it as my analogy of the lighthouse. If you're not enjoying it and you hate it, that light isn't going to be shining very brightly. So it's not going to bring in that amazing future vision, because they're not going to be able to see you. So the more you can have the positive energy about what you're doing, the brighter that lighthouse will shine and more people will see how amazing you are and want to work with you. And you'll get to that end goal far, far quicker. So think about what fuels you, what lights you up, and do more of that. Okay. The story. So I've got a story mapping exercise. If you can't figure out what your stories are, there's select one that can connect and inspire. And if you've got one that's like connected to Christmas, say, and it doesn't get picked up by the media this year, it doesn't mean you can't go back out with it next year. So certain stories you have will connect with the seasons. So the seasonal. So you can go out with them every year. I've got coverage for clients every single year at the same time of the year with the same thing, just spun slightly differently. So if you think of it like that, there'll be cycles, news cycles. Where did your stories fit in the news cycle? And you can recycle them just like you can anything else. So think about that, because that makes life easier. And the expectation. So what do you want to happen? The execution. How are you going to make it happen? I have popcorn method, which is basically for busy people that I work with, clients who go, oh, I've not got time to do that, Sarah. we use those little popcorn moments in your day where you'll know what I mean when you think, well, do you know what? I've got a client call, but it finished 10 minutes early. That's 10 minutes of popcorn time. So you can pop the few little things there, little nuggets of actions that you can do really quickly that will move the needle in your business. There's lots of little tips and tricks I've got for those people who say they haven't got time, because you have. Okay. So the barriers, confidence, loads of people go, oh, but I'm not confident like you. I can't go networking. Well, what are you? What are your skill? What is your skill set? There'll be certain things that you are more capable at than I am. So we need to utilize that more. Okay. All of us are confident in something, and it's building that confidence as well. The more you do it, the easier it will get. The first time I went networking, I absolutely wet myself almost. And I hardly spoke to anyone apart from one person that I knew. But it's learned behavior. The more you do it, the better you get at it. Okay. It's just because I've spent 25 years networking now. So it's quite natural to me. But the more you do it, the better you get at it. And mindset, again, it plugs into your mindset. If you think you can, you can. If you think you can't, you can't. So just work on your mindset if you need to. There's loads of free meditations out there and things, and I'm happy to signpost you to them if you need it. But definitely work on your mindset. There's enough out there for everyone, business wise as well. And then time, I've just said about my popcorns of time, and you can pop things in into your schedule and squeeze them in. So I can help you with that if you need help with that. And knowledge, that's not really an excuse these days. There's free advice everywhere. Look at this. Um, but also you can Google things, you can look up on YouTube. It's all out there teaching you how to do what we do. And AI now as well can help. Um, so who am I? So I'm PR marketing expert for 25 years. I'm a visibility strategist. So I've worked with some massive brands, small entrepreneurs as well. I've done all sorts from London Fashion Week to Northern Film premieres for Odeon Cinema to the comms for the World Swimming Championships, um, airline launches, route launches, things to do with airports, you name it, I've done it. So, yeah, so I've done all sorts of different things. I've media trained Jade Jones before she won Olympic gold in the Olympics as part of GB Taekwondo. So I've done all sorts of different things, but the one thing that I've learned is the importance of brand alignment to get you to where you want to be. The quickest and fastest way to get you there is by this alignment with influencers who can influence people, because that's worked for my big airlines as well as for smaller entrepreneurs. I'm also a luxury travel specialist, so I'm actually a travel agent as well, and I was ambassador for the travel brand that I worked for, because I did that during lockdown. In the middle of lockdown, became a travel agent. Yeah, everyone thought I'd lost it completely, but my entire business was wiped out when COVID hit, because I had an airline, a big hospitality brand who own bars and restaurants, and a theatre company. So all the industries that were decimated. And that's when I became an associate lecturer at MMU. I managed the Metropolitan University Business School. I wrote a sales and marketing module for their second year management diploma degree and taught that. And then they made me teach entrepreneurship, tourism entrepreneurship, sustainability and entrepreneurship, innovation and entrepreneurship, basically loads of entrepreneurship stuff I was teaching, and I also became a travel agent then as well. Then the franchise that I was a travel agent for realized that, oh, this girl can write courses and train people. Let's make her an ambassador so she can train up all the travel agents. So I was training all the travel agents in PR and marketing. But that was an honorary role, and I thought, why am I doing this? Because I can get paid to do this, and stopped doing it, and started being paid to help people, to coach them, to mentor them, to do their own PR and marketing. I've got courses that you can do that will teach you different things. I do deep dive sessions with my Global Visibility Club, whereby they're all people who want to work on their own visibility, but they need a bit of support and guidance and accountability. We do deep dive sessions, how to get slots as a speaker on stage, how to do your speaker bio, how to get featured on podcasts. And then when you've got a interview slot on a podcast, how do you make the most of that? How do you get the maximum visibility from that? So I do all sorts of deep dive sessions with the membership as well, because at the end of the day, my legacy to my children is to help good people do more good things. So the more I can help people who want to build legacy in the world to do more because they're more visible and they can help more people, then that's a ripple effect that if I can turn those little ripples into big waves of goodness and change, that is amazing for me to be able to do to secure that legacy for my children. And that's why I do my Global Visibility Club. The logo for that incorporates all three of my children, the two that are no longer here and the one that's still alive. I speak on stage about life after child loss, about like stop procrastinating and just do the thing now, because you don't know how much longer you've got. So just do it now. What are we waiting for, you know? So I'm going to be on stage for Greater Manchester Chamber of Commerce Women in Leadership Lunch this week, talking about exactly that. So the more I can do to help people get out there, the better. So here are my 6 easy things you can implement quickly today, and I can guarantee if you do all of these 6, it will move the needle on your business and your life, okay? Number 1, update your LinkedIn profile. Make sure it says exactly how you make that difference. Why are you the expert at what you do? Now, an example of this is I worked with a client, and the area that she works in, suddenly there's a million other people doing what she does because it's dead trendy now to do what she does. But she's done it for 20 years, and she actually has 2 master's level qualifications in this thing that no one else has got, right? So, but on her LinkedIn profile, it just says like a job title. And I said, look, you need to point out that you've got 2 master's degree qualifications and how long you've been doing it for in the opening thing of your profile. And she changed that, and all of a sudden she went from getting 0 clients on LinkedIn to within 2 days she had 2 people message her wanting to work with her. Okay, in 2 days, just by changing that line in a profile of a LinkedIn, that opening line. So make sure it says exactly why you are that expert, okay? Shout about your achievements. If you've got a qualification in something, you've won an award, even if it's a certificate for the latest ISO 9000 and whatever, and you think, oh, that's bloody boring. I'm not posting that on social media. Share it, because it shows people that you are committed to continuous improvement, personal development, all of these things, even if it's something within your industry that no one else understands. Again, it just shows people that you are staying ahead of the game, you're staying up to date, you're continuously improving, and that might stand you head and shoulders above someone else who does exactly what you do, who doesn't share all of that. So they think, oh, well, they're not keeping ahead of the times, are they? Well, they might be. They might just not be telling anyone about it. So make sure you tell people about stuff. Identify who that target media might be for that ideal client and start consuming that media. So listen to the podcasts, read the magazines, the newspapers, watch the TV shows that your ideal client's got likes watching. So then, because yeah, okay, you're not going to necessarily get on to Loose Women if that's what they watch, but you can have that conversation with them about it. You can share that on social media, what the latest storyline was in Corrie, if you know that your ideal client watches Corrie. It just helps break that ice and it shows them that you are interested in some of the similar things that they are. Um, and reach out to people that you want to impress. Invite them to meet you for a coffee or ask their advice on something. Quite often they're only too happy to do that. And if they're in corporate these days, everyone's bombarded with Zoom calls. So if you reach out to them and say, would you fancy a coffee at the coffee shop next to your office? They're more likely to say, yeah, bloody hell, yes, let's go. Because I just want to get out of this office and away from this screen. So think about that. And ask the clients you've worked with to write you a recommendation on LinkedIn. And then don't just leave it at the bottom of your LinkedIn. You know, because when you go on someone's LinkedIn to see their recommendations, you have to scroll for ages to the bottom of the profile to see the recommendations. Well, don't do that. Copy and paste one of your best recommendations or your latest recommendation and shove it in your About You section. So after the first paragraph, first one or two paragraphs where you say who you are and who you help and how wonderful you are, say, this is what one of my clients thought about me. Quote them in it. Okay, so that people can see what your clients are thinking of you without having to scroll to the bottom of your profile. And when they've left it, take a screenshot and put it everywhere, all over your social media. If you don't use LinkedIn, have a Google My Business and get people to leave you a Google My Business review. And do the same, share it everywhere, screenshot it, put it on your website, put it all over your social media, pin it to the top of your LinkedIn. Yeah? Make sure people can see what people think of you. And get out networking. Even if you're not sure that networking event's got your ideal client in or someone who knows your ideal client and you're not sure, don't procrastinate. Just go along and see. If it does, brilliant. If it doesn't, it's fine. You've had a nice lunch, a nice cup of coffee, and chatted to a few new people. So don't worry, and you never know who knows who either. So, you know, that boring accountant that you've just met at a networking event who just goes on and on and on about tax to you, and you think, oh God, he's here at every single thing. Well, who's he married to? Who's his brother-in-law? Who of his family? Someone within there might be your ideal client, just because he isn't. His best mate he plays golf with might be your ideal client, and you've just dismissed him because he's a bit boring. So think about who knows who, because you're only one person away from the person that you want to reach. You're just not aware of it yet. Does that make sense? So that's one of my favorite phrases. Whether you think you can or think you can't, you're correct. My other favorite one is actually from Yoda. Um, um, there's only I do or I don't. There's no try. So what I'd like to do is if you've enjoyed that, feel free to ask me any questions now. But if you'd like to have a free chat with me, I promise I'll give you a couple more really good ideas that'll move the needle on your business. And we can have a chat about where you're up to and whatnot, and if I can help you further. So feel free to scan that and book a call in with me, because I'd love to chat to you a bit more. But has anyone got any questions they want to ask me about any of that? Because I realise it's a lot of information that I've just thrown at you.
One of the things I struggle with is my bio,
Yeah.
um, both on LinkedIn and Facebook and what have you. Because I don't like looking at myself.
Right.
So that's it's I've got to try and tell myself that I'm not looking at me.
Yeah,
It's,
pretend you're a different person.
yeah, that's an idea that can go to the top of the list, that one. But
Yeah.
yeah, because I've been trying to do my LinkedIn profile for at least 6 months, maybe.
Right. My top tip for you then
Yeah,
is to, have you got ChatGPT?
yeah.
Put
I'm
all your intel into that and get that to come up with it for you.
I nearly swore then. That's a fantastic idea, that.
Yeah.
No,
Well, just do that because it can reflect back at you and you can have a conversation with it. Go, oh, that's a load of rubbish. Back to it.
yeah.
What about this, this, and this? You need to include these key facts about me. And it'll come back with different suggestions for you. And you can go back and have that conversation with it. But
Mm,
that can really help you, especially coming up with ideas sometimes. Because sometimes we can't see the wood for the trees either.
I'm an
Um,
absolute sod for that.
but the key thing as well is not to just take what ChatGPT gives you as gospel, but it might give you enough of an idea to
Mm,
tweak few bits, or go, oh, actually, do you know what? I like that. I'm going to use that bit, and I can add it into this bit. So just adapt and edit what it gives you, but it might give you enough to start editing. Because I
yeah,
sometimes find it easier to edit things than write from scratch.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I did think, oh, a couple of people I know I might sort of like steal their, because about
Steal theirs.
steal theirs and tweak it. You
Hello,
never
my
know.
name's Jackie.
But you know what I mean? It's sort of like
Yeah.
friends and just have a look at what they've done, and
Well,
so
what
yeah.
you could do, Babs, is put your credentials and everything into ChatGPT and then copy and paste loads of the examples of the ones you like, and then say to it, these are all the ones I like. Can you write me something about me that's in a similar format? And it'll give you a load of suggestions.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Has anyone else got anything they want to ask me?
Yeah, I do, Sarah. My LinkedIn, I
Hmm.
tend to avoid LinkedIn because of the role I used to have before I did this business.
Right.
So, as much as I've got a lot of people on there who know me, I'm still in the well-being field, if you like, but in a
Mhm.
different role.
Right.
And I'd probably do well to be on LinkedIn and get to the corporate to make more of an impact in corporate, but
Yeah.
I'm tending to do it from a spiritual point of view. So I don't want to muddy the waters on LinkedIn, confusing them with what I did, whether they'd want that as a package in corporate now.
Yeah, I think you just need to look at your ideal client and who they are. Because if your ideal client is corporate, then yes, you need to be on LinkedIn. But if your ideal client isn't on there, if they're on Instagram, for instance, or TikTok, then that's where you need to be. So you
Mm,
need to do the work at the start of the B to figure out you in future you now, who is it you're working with? And if you're working with corporate in future you, then you need to look at LinkedIn. But if you're not, if your ideal client's someone totally different and they're
mm,
not on LinkedIn, then don't use LinkedIn. I just use LinkedIn in this because quite a lot of the people that come through a BC method want to get into corporate or want to work with corporate individuals, and that's why I include it. But it could be easily be any other social media you use. So it could be making sure your Facebook bio says why you're the expert at what you do. Could
yeah,
be making sure your Instagram bio says, why you're the expert at what you do. So you could replace the LinkedIn in my tip with any other social platform. I
right.
just pick LinkedIn. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
It depends where your ideal client is. And that's why I threw in if your ideal client isn't on LinkedIn and you don't use LinkedIn recommendations, and set up a Google My Business page, which is free, and you can get them to leave your Google My Business reviews instead as an alternative. But Facebook reviews don't move the needle at all in your business. So I wouldn't even bother with Facebook reviews, to be honest.
Right. Okay, thanks.
Yeah. But did the rest of it make sense, Jackie? Or was it just the LinkedIn bit that threw
Yeah,
you?
the rest of it made sense completely, yeah. I've been dipping in and out, so yeah. Yeah,
Good. Good.
thanks.
Karen, did you have got any questions, or can I help you?
Yeah, I was just typing in. I've got to go. I've got a call at 3, but I've booked in a call with you, I think, Tuesday,
Brilliant.
the 23rd. So I'll
Great.
catch up. Thank you. That
Yeah,
was really
great. I look forward
interesting.
to that.
Good
Brilliant.
to hear
Glad
again.
you appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. See you
Nice to meet
soon.
you.
Bye.
Bye.
And you.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay. Well, thanks guys for joining me today. I'm going to jump off now anyway, but please scan there and book a call in with me and let's have a chat. Because I promise to give you a couple more tips as well on that call. And I can chat to you about the different ways I might be able to help you as well. Depending on where you're up to in your business and your journey. Okay. Brilliant.
Thank you very much,
Yeah.
Sarah.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Been
Good.
good.
Thanks, Sarah. Bye.
Brilliant. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.